Welcome back to Factorio MSX Gigabase. We are still in the dry dock assembly component area. I built out a little bit more of the rails since last time just to see where the stacker would have to go and to fit in an SRE, a supply rubbish engineering set of stops. And actually I really should copy this with the train stop names. That would probably be a good long-term thing to do, but it's not the first thing I'm going to do. What we want to do is, well, for starters, I want to make sure that everything is connected back over here. So we're going to want to call up the supply train to come and deliver all this stuff. Though it might be a little while before we actually turn on this complex. So yeah, it's basically over here that I want to be sure of. I might even get some paths to make running around here. Yeah, exactly what I thought might be the case. We have a slight disconnect just there. And here. So it doesn't look like there's any outstanding supply anywhere, supply request. So I'll have to assume that's exactly what we want. So what do we need? Well, let's come over here and find out. We might need radar. This bit down here is not covered by radar. So we certainly do need radar somewhere. These ones are not currently powered. So that might be a good idea. Probably means these ones are not powered. And these ones are not powered. Okay. There's probably cheaper ways than using substations to power them, but whatever. Now, I want one of these guys just down here, just because. How does that look? That looks like we can cover everything. So, if we were to make a new blueprint, or is there actually a blueprint that I can scrap? I can scrap that one. I'm basically interested in the number of machines. Yep, we got everything. We don't need to worry about radars and counters and publishers, constants and those things. Even those really, but let's keep that. Place that there. So that was mainly just to get a count of material for ordering with the supply train, or at least the initial order. I might also get some concrete, although I don't think I have a lot of concrete, so you might get to see. In fact, I don't have a very automated process handling concrete at the moment. It's just one of those things that's sort of an afterthought, which is why I haven't used nearly as much as perhaps I should have. and why I haven't really used reinforced concrete either. We're too busy with other things. So, what do we need? We need, say, 1.3 speed modules. And yes, we must be getting to a point where we are going to force speed modules to start production again. I don't need the rail. Let's get, say, 640 of those beacons just to be sure. Let's just get 400 prod modules again to be sure. I don't know how many blue inserters I've had, so I'm going to get 200 because we can always recycle them. And it wouldn't hurt to get another 200 of them actually, because we don't have everything that we're going to need sorted out yet. Red boxes, we've laid down some, but we're going to need a lot more. I might even get 300 of the passive supply, and 300 of the requested chests. Not 200, 300. 91. Let's get 100 of those. And I think we might actually have enough substations. Oh, and Astrometrics is finished. Alright, let's turn that on. Let's choose another tech. I guess, what have we got? We've only really got these two, space casings and space thrusters. That's a 384. That's a 192. The reason I said we don't have these is because they all have yellow in them, which isn't necessarily the end of the world, but let's give circuits a little bit of a break. I'm guessing that the rocket silo is probably going to take a little while before it has got back to its stop point. What have we got? 43k there and 28k there. Yeah, so we must have had a few more. There must have been a bit of a need to refill some of these guys. What's that? 28 plus 43, 60, 71, 25. So there's another 100 or so. So yeah, 440, 450, 25, 450, maybe something like that will be when science, well, not science so much, but these guys shut down. And these guys shutting down was kind of what I was waiting for in terms of starting the modules, but it won't take that long. Oh look, steel has well and truly recovered. It shouldn't take that long. I guess it depends on how many are crying out for how much yellow we need to. I mean, that's kind of fine. We're still building the yellow. We're not short of anything. There's tons of yellow sitting in there. I'm going to take the risk. So while we wait for the supply train to start making deliveries over here, presumably it has kicked off. No, it has not. Okay, let's find out why it hasn't. It's very hard to say because there's no signal in the green network at all. It's very hard to say. I am tempted to think Oops. But it is likely there's an issue here, but it's not obvious. No, that took a while away. So put it back. Let me just see. No, that didn't help. Okay, this could be a little bit annoying. I definitely turned that on, didn't I? Yeah. So what happens is it gets stored locally here on the red circuit, and the green circuit is sent out to the main base, and it gets stored at the Make Everything factory, the green signal. So because we're not seeing a green signal, that means it wasn't stored at the main base. So I'm going to have to turn it off, and I am going to have to I mean, the easiest thing to do might be to create a signal somewhere that does work, and track where along here we lose the signal. This is probably a little bit annoying and boring to watch, so I'm actually going to pause and sort this out, and I'll get back to you when it's fixed. Okay, welcome back. So yeah, it it was really close to where we were, so it's just here. One other little link that wasn't connected up properly. This is why it's so advantageous to have your pieces fitting each other perfectly and only making these links so that this would already, like that would be connecting directly to there, and then it would automatically fill in the wires for me. But so we don't actually have a demand right now, but let me just see if so I actually went over here, called the supply train. It's sitting here waiting to go home. At home it has nothing at the moment. I think if I turn it on now, everything should be hunky-dory. Let me just see. So there's nothing on. Now that's what it's supposed to look like. So the red is locally what we're waiting on. We stay, and that's used to keep this open. It shuts down when there's nothing to pick up, and the green is what we have to pick up at the Make Everything factory. Okay, so now that we've established that, what I want to do is come over to the efficiency module, which actually means I will head to hashtag GC1. I could go to the hashtag copper7, but I'll go to hashtag GC1. A little bit of deja vu for me, not so much for you guys, but a little bit for me. And what we will do when we get there is basically enable the modules to start being produced. We are still having quite a large number of green modules being used or produced, so I mean there is capacity. I've seen it over 300,000. There's capacity with red, there's capacity with processing units, so while we're doing this science, which is a low circuit demand science, we can be doing something that's circuit heavy in the background. And since we have so many that we need to produce, we may as well. That's sort of what my thinking is. How are we going? Iron here, iron 7 is still holding out rather well, 9.3 million. 16 million plus 11 million coal is what we have for feeding plastic down here. Where are we? We're almost there. Oh, and I didn't order any concrete either. Never mind, we can do that when we go back. So, what I want to do is basically just call the trains in, and that will set this off and running. I think it can do in the order of about 300, just over 300 level 3 modules per minute, which is pretty impressive, but it's certainly most definitely something that we need to be able to do. Okay, I think it should be safe to create the train counters if we had the lamps. Damn. We're gonna have to run back and grab the lamps. Didn't realise quite how many lamps I must have used back at the assembly component center. And your satellites again should shut down very soon, which should be helpful if for no other reason. Well, I mean, there's circuits involved, but the other reason, of course, is it might even give us some UPS back, which would be nice. Yeah, that's tons of lamps. 1, 2, 3. Okay, where's your train counter there? Alright, now let's get 3 train publishers to hook up the requests. You need to order red circuits. You need blue circuits. And you need green circuits. EM red, blue and green. So obviously there actually is no... oh yeah, there is some supply there. There is actually some red sitting here. I know it's kicked off by itself. It's not coming to us yet though. Aha! Here is some green circuits. Oh, this needs bots. I completely forgot about bots. How many bots do I use in the production module 1? I can probably steal some rather than order in a fresh supply. It's only 400. Maybe I'll just order in a fresh supply. Try 300. Actually, I just ordered 100. That was my test. So, wow. Does that mean this one's it's shut down already? So everything that we needed is now over there. Alright, well let's boost this up to 300. We actually had 200 anyway. Get our bots, and hopefully that will be all that we need. We're still waiting on processing units. Let's see what's going on there. They're all out at the moment. But on their way back. Well, one of them is. This is why we don't really want to be doing yellow science at the same time. So with a bit of luck that won't take too long. Now how's our supply train doing? It is on the way to us, so it won't be much longer. How are these guys going? You're almost empty. You are slowly getting there. Oh, these requests need to be changed as well. But I will wait for the supply train, grab the bots. Actually, I could grab what's there at the moment, so I guess we'll do that. Let's get 200. Let's make sure I'm not auto-trashing. Doesn't look like I am. That is all, I think. Actually, there's a bunch just sitting in here. Let's steal all that as well. The train can just top that back up. There you go. It's here now anyway. So this will at least start the tier 1 modules. We're just waiting on the processing units to be able to kick off the 2 and 3s. They're all actually working. That's good. Let's again have a look at... oh, what's that? No. Another green circuit. How many green circuits do we have on the way? 2. Three red circuits on the way. Huh. And still no processing units. EM blue. So we are still waiting for a processing unit. Train, there is one that is trying to get back to us. Oh, and I do believe we have probably kicked off. Yeah, it looks like we have kicked off blue level 3 circuits as well. Where's the green ones? We've only got the level 1s at the moment. But yeah, that's going to be boosting the circuit demand, I would think, very soon. Still waiting on those. Well, we don't actually have to wait on those. Now the thing is, I don't actually want to start building these until we have a decent number of those efficiency units, but I do want to get back over there. There's no point just hanging around here. We will need to create a train for it, but we don't have to do that right at the moment either. We can build out what we were doing last episode, and with a bit of luck, well, they'll move in and out of the way soon enough, I'm sure. With a bit of luck, we can fully build out the assembly component area. Oh, don't really need that. Okay. So let's head back to hashtag dry dock assembly. And we'll start putting the details in from the details to the design that kind of been missing. How's science doing? Yeah, it looks like it's basically at 12k. There we go. Sort of jumping around. On the 1 minute basis, it's a little bit more stable. Very good. 25,441, is that enough? 42,056.98, yes. These ones obviously had satellites in them, but they're probably the last ones, and we're probably not getting any more satellites, so that's it. These guys won't launch. 25,445. So that's it until we do the science. There's no other space science needed. That's it as far as satellites go. It's not it as far as launches go, of course. And the satellites aren't counted in these totals. Well, I mean, these ones are, but none of these, or what comes after it, include these satellites. So getting rid of all of these flashing warning lights will actually help on UPS as well. Let's boost, actually let's get rid of those before we get filled up with things, and for now I want to just get rid of the things that for sure we don't need. Which is actually just that, and now we'll stock up with a bunch of things that we do need. Let's start off with, say, 100 of those, which would mean we want 400 of those. Oh, I do know the other thing that we need. That was the we do actually need those logistic robots after all, because I want to deploy them in here, so that they can fetch the stuff for me. We're going to need a bunch of beacons. 300, and that would mean that has to be 600. I am going to want some of these, probably 100. Actually, let's make that 200 stack inserters. Not sure if I ordered blue inserters or not, but let's get some anyway. And yeah, that will do for now. Let's build this baby out. Fix up the formulas. Get some requester or logistic chests down. Work out what we need. We need some power over here. That's one thing that we need. For sure. Poor little robots probably need some charge, but power pack was one of the things that I I put down. Never mind. We'll just do this, kind of give them a little bit of encouragement, pat on the back. Okay. Grab a few more. And of course I forgot to get some paths, but never mind. I mean, it would be helpful. Maybe I'll ask it for some. I'm not actually sure how many paths I actually have back at the main base to be able to order. 11,000, so I do actually have a bit. Well, in that case, let's get 4,000 or so. And then we'll throw down some paths. Probably too late for it to be any use, but I'm sure at some point in time we'll appreciate having them. Oh yeah, this one needs a an extra substation. I was expecting that. I'd just temporarily forgotten. We have one of these situations again. The bot's pretending to be out of power. Okay, bots. See these two right here? How about you place them? These two. Come on. Wakey, wakey. I might have a couple of bots floating around somewhere that they were trying to give that order to, but they haven't caught back up to me. That can happen. Once again. Okay, might be the same deal. and this collection over here. Oh, we have just run out again. We're not going to need 300. Let's reduce that down to 100, and that one to 200, I guess. It's definitely pretty slow running around without paths. Even with our 6 legs, it doesn't help when you've got bots trying to charge and no stored charge either. That's also an issue, but never mind. Has this been yet? No, it hasn't, but this is it here. Yes, good. The other thing I want to check on is how is our... Still no sign of it. EM Blue is right up there, so where are you going? You are actually trying to go to EM Blue, but you're not doing it for some reason. Just a huge protracted queue of chain signals preventing it. So, if that's the case, there, it's been answered, but another one has been ordered. So we must be requesting 2 or 3 processing units in here to kick the process off. Never mind. Oh, here's these 2 that I was talking about, the strays. That'll be why we were not getting those beacons placed that we were hoping for. So let's also order, say, 3,000 concrete. Oh, come on, guys. Couldn't you have sorted that out a little bit more efficiently? Never mind. I think I want about a 4-width path here. From, say, here. Now, where exactly do we want to go? Kind of thinking across here, along here, maybe down through there, along there, something like that. Hmm. 3,000 path doesn't actually go that far. Surprise, surprise. Okay, so these are supposed to be the iron gear wheels. Oh, and we are missing a substation here as well. So this is supposed to be roboports. Let me check those numbers again, because of course I have completely forgotten them all. 11 roboports. So roboports should be 11 of these. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Yep. So they're all roboports. And I'm pretty sure the roboports are not going to appreciate the productivity modules. So we give them speed modules instead. Now, your formula is 2 iron plates. It's every half second. So you need 16 iron plate every half second, which is 32 iron plate a second. This stuff is not going to work at all. We are going to need at least 2, but what about the output? So you're outputting 2 iron gear wheels every second. Times 8 is 16. 16 times 1.4, 22. 1 should be enough out, but we are going to need 2 coming in. And you basically want a stack of iron. And you don't want to just keep making a vast supply of these things. Right. Oh. For some reason, so we're actually on version 1648, and now when I hover with a blueprint, my UPS, even a small one, my UPS drops to almost nothing. So it would be nice if the devs fix that, because it's not so good. Whatever they did has broken something. I might have to go on the forums and let them know. Why did that not pick up everything? Wow. Okay, so that is the iron gear wheels. Now, the roboports, they use a lot of stuff. Every second, they are basically using 9 of all of those things every second. But they're going faster than that. They're going 11 times, so yeah, it's going to be basically impossible to load these up fast enough, is the conclusion. Oh dear. Okay, in that case, can't fit any more around it, can I? there is another way of doing this. I don't know if I can be bothered doing it, but we could actually move these sort of out a little bit so that we get spacing all the way around, and then you can you could use inserters to completely surround it, because we basically need 9 times 11, 99. We need 100. Actually, even that won't work. So having these machines as fast as they are is actually completely pointless. They're never going to be able to run at that speed. I can have a dedicated inserter each. But I really need 4 dedicated inserters. So what I was talking about, guys, is instead of this pattern, we could have a pattern kind of like this, where you leave a gap. And I think you can sit a so if that was doing those guys, now we could have our sole guy going out, and you get the ability to have 3 per. One, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 3, 6, 9, 12. We actually could fit that in, you know. Right, I'm doing it. We don't actually need this blinding speed, but hey, I'm doing it. And how many are we actually producing? So it takes 5 seconds, so we're making about 2 a second. This actually can be blue coming out. We'll have to... well, we'll worry about that afterwards. So what do we need? We need steel. Steel, you can be gears. And you can be red circuits. Alright. Tick. Roboports. Right, let's just rip this all up. Still need 11 of these, but we need it to be out slightly further. basically it needs to go out. That needs to be in line with that, but probably out all the way to the path. One for UPS, just because I've got a blueprint out. Put it down, back up to whatever we need. One, two, three, four, five, 6. Whoops. Good, didn't do anything. 7, 8. 9. 10. 11. And that captures those. What about the other end? No power to there. Alright. Let's fix that. And that is the roboports. Crazy as it may seem. Okay. So, now, after roboports was 63 and 2. 63 and 2. Alright. The 2 can basically be the two middle ones here and here, and all of the rest of them are going to be the other design. So, you are not roboports, you are construction robots. And of course, will have to be changed to speed modules. And over here you are also construction robots, and the rest are flying robot frames. Which actually, instead of going like this, I should just get one right in terms of what it requests, and then see about what we're going to do. We probably want, well, maybe an inserter for everyone is probably the safest thing to do here as well. But I am out of requester chests. We're also basically out of time. So, thanks for joining me for this one. We'll have to wrap this up next time. See you then. Looking forward to it, guys. Bye-bye for now.